Welcome to the Webb Report. My name is Stuart Webb. Tonight we're going to talk about why we need to have more gratitude for the people, specifically men, who do jobs that no one wants to do, even the men most of the time. But they do them because that's what society has asked of them, essentially. And it allows society to have modern convenience and to have more comfortable lives. So men do jobs that no one wants to do so that we can enjoy life a lot more. So I want to start out with this video, which I absolutely love this video because it just represents, it just represents the kind of the hypocrisy of society when we talk about equality. People say that we need to have gender equality. Well, okay, let's have gender equality, and let's make sure that women have the same percentage in every industry, in every career, in every job. Let's just make sure that 50% of those people in that occupation are women, including the worst jobs that really no one even thinks about. Even myself, there are so many jobs I don't even think about that honestly no one wants to do, but basically a man is doing that job. And it just this video represents this just hilariously, but it also conveys an important truth, and the truth is that men do the jobs that no one wants to do. The majority, okay? I'm not saying every single job. I'm just saying the majority of jobs that no one wants to do, men do those jobs. So we're just going to play this video and then chat a little bit about just kind of male-dominated industries, because there's a reason for that, because no one wants to do the jobs. Anyway, and I'll talk about my personal experience with one of the top undesirable jobs. I actually did so for a few years. I did a job that no one wants to do for a couple of years, and so there's a reason I'm not doing it anymore. So let's go ahead and play this.
A lot of men say that they're out here fighting for equality.
But we've made the decision to fight for total equality in every way.
Hey babe, just checking in, seeing how that deck's coming? Well, it's great that women occupy 65% of PR jobs. We still live in a world where only 14% of Alaska crab fishermen are women.
And 10% of roadkill removal specialists. Women are perfectly capable of things other than marketing, and they have every right to be down there mining coal with the boys.
50% of coal miners should be women minimum.
It starts at home, whether it's mowing the lawn or building furniture.
We've both been doing our part.
She actually put me on an allowance, which is pretty sweet.
I've never paid for a meal ever.
You want to play Call of Duty tomorrow?
My schedule's wide open. We can do whatever.
Some fake male feminists like to celebrate the fact that women occupy the majority of life coaching positions, while there's still only 3% of brick masons.
Still a lot of work to be done.
I encourage any man who cares to enroll his wife in a brick mason apprenticeship. Don't let her quit her other job, though. She can do it on the weekends. I promise you she can handle it. She's stronger than you think. I think you're gonna probably have to pay that one. You know I quit my job. Babe, I support you in both of your careers.
Some people think it's weird that I stay at home with the dogs while she's working at a steel mill because they're afraid of a working woman.
Newsflash, women are gonna be in the workplace.
Especially this woman, because I've racked up quite a bit of debt. And don't get me started on the fact that 89% of cell phone tower climbers are men.
We offer subsidies for women in entertainment, but when it comes to climbing a cell phone tower, suddenly they're on their own.
Here's a list of grants for female filmmakers. Now here's a list of grants for female oil rig workers.
Women can and should be rig pigs, especially the butch ones. But hey, maybe that's just me who cares. Only 24% of morticians are women, but I guess I'm the crazy one for thinking women are perfectly capable of morticianing.
And a mere 3% of plumbers? That's what happens when our children see Mario and Luigi instead of Marjorie and Louise.
My ex-girlfriend was discouraged from plumbing, and because of that, she had to rely on me to pay for meals at restaurants. I stand for that no longer. Could do brunch first.
No, let's do brunch on Tuesday. Spread it out a bit. I want the patriarchy dead, and me dead asleep, while my partner is shoveling snow in the middle of December.
My wife's texting me. She says we need to talk.
Yeah, she probably wants to talk about the fact that 90% of whale snot collectors are still men.
Or 94% of porta potty cleaners.
What message does this send to our daughters?
I've never killed a bug ever. That's something that your girlfriend is perfectly capable of, despite what propaganda will tell you.
It only comes bi-weekly, so sometimes I gotta get her to top it up. Are you willing to step up, or are you too entrenched in gender norms?
Total equality in every way.
Okay, total equality in every way. So very cleverly, Ryan Long does a great job of, highlighting kind of highlighting an important truth, right? But using parody to kind of make people realize, oh yeah, maybe we don't want total equality, right? Because that means that 50% of the plumbers in our society, well, they're going to have to be women, right? So speaking of plumbing, I did plumbing for 3 years, and there's a reason why plumbing is one of the top most undesirable jobs, but also a job that society needs, right? You have to have plumbers, and there's a high demand for plumbers. But let me just show you why plumbing. Here, I just typed in because it's hard for me to even think about it because there's so many things, but this is why plumbing sucks, okay? Here are the top. Okay, so plumbing is often considered a difficult career due to extreme physical demands that I 100% can attest to. And I'm an athlete too, by the way, so, but it was still very difficult. You're in awkward positions, working in cramped, filthy conditions, and handling hazardous waste. Plumbers frequently deal with harsh weather emergencies and demanding customers, while apprentices face low initial wages and long training periods. So let's just go down the list. Physical toll. Plumbers often work in tight, uncomfortable spaces, crawl spaces, attics, leading to significant wear and tear on the knees, back, and shoulders. I had to go to the hospital because I got a knee infection because I was on my knees and in just filth, and my knee got infected. But disgusting work environment, yep, obviously, right, because of what we're dealing with. The job involves direct contact with sewage, pests, toxic materials, which many find unpleasant. Yeah. High stress emergencies. Plumbers are usually called during disasters, broken pipes, floods, etc., resulting in high pressure situations, often during nights or weekends. 100% true. Challenging weather technicians often work outdoors in extreme cold or heat, which can be grueling. Long training and low pay early. Becoming a proficient plumber takes years of apprenticeship, often starting with low pay. Mental strain. Diagnosing complex issues in old hidden infrastructure can be mentally exhausting, as explained by an experienced plumber here on Roger Wakefield's blog. That is 100% true. Very high stress. Being a plumber, see, people might think that this trade doesn't require intelligence, but it requires not only physical ability, but mental ability. And it's problem solving all the time, constantly. And on top of that, it's usually problem solving in an uncomfortable position physically and in a high stress, urgent situation many times. Okay. Stigma. Despite high earning potential for skilled workers, the profession is is sometimes unfairly viewed as dirty or a less prestigious career. Yeah, that's changed a lot, which I can personally appreciate, but I've always appreciated it because I didn't grow up handy, but I always knew that all this work needed to be done, and I didn't know how to do it. So I've always been fascinated and respected the tradesmen. And then I did a trade. I did plumbing for 3 years. So I have massive respect for tradesmen. So have gratitude. Next time you see a tradesman and we're going to go over these, the top trade jobs, next time you see these men out working, and yes, there are some women, but we're talking about a tiny, tiny, tiny percentage. So it's not a knock against women. It's just, this video is to thank and think about the men that go out and risk their health and risk their sanity to do the jobs that no one wants to do. So this video is just really about thanking and having gratitude for your tradesmen and your laborers. Okay. So let's go up to most, okay, well, there's the most physically dangerous jobs. Let's just go to skilled trades and construction. The top 100 male-dominated occupations. So the reason why, I played the video at the beginning, and I'm kind of going over these top male-dominated occupations is because these are all jobs that, have some element of what I just listed about why people don't want to do them. Okay, electricians, plumbers, carpenters, construction laborers, roofers, brick masons, cement masons, iron workers, sheet metal workers, HVAC technicians, drywall installers, painters, heavy equipment operators, welders, boilermakers. That's just the top 15. We just keep going down the list. We get down to mechanics. So transportation, truck drivers, bus drivers, delivery drivers, railroad conductors, locomotive engineers, airline pilots, ship captains, deckhands, aircraft mechanics, diesel mechanics, and down here, mechanics and repair, automotive service technicians, industrial machinery mechanics, maintenance workers, elevator installers, repairers, small engine mechanics, avionic technicians, power plant operators, line installers. Then it goes to the military, engineering fields. And so in relation to that, look, all these industries, they have other areas that aren't even listed, that there is some job connected to, or that someone's doing that we're not even thinking about. But if we go to most undesirable, most physically dangerous, high risk jobs, these are things that we don't even think about. Like, we don't even know, like, we go about our day and we're just not even thinking about it. And I know this because I'm not thinking about this stuff. But being in the trade world for a couple of years and doing a trade, just like massive respect for the people that basically break their backs every day so that we can have, we can have modern convenience of just like showing up at the gas station and grabbing whatever we want to eat, filling up our car, et cetera, et cetera. So most physically dangerous, high risk jobs: logging worker, commercial fisher, airline pilot, roofer, structural iron worker, construction laborer. Look, next time you go through by a construction site, look who's there. It's all guys. They're building the infrastructure of society. So we need to have some respect for the people that build the society, right? Especially if we don't want to do these jobs, okay? Electrical power line installer / repairer, farmer, rancher, heavy machinery in farming, truck driver, miner, oil rig worker, firefighter, police officer, garbage collector, industrial machinery mechanic, crane operator, demolition worker, shipyard worker, commercial diver, underwater welding, guys. Come on. Military combat roles. And that's just the top 20. I mean, it's so the list is just goes on, right? And this is not a knock against women because it's the reason why men that recognize that men have a duty, and men and women are different, and we have different roles, and we have different strengths and weaknesses, and we have different purposes. Or I guess we have, well, ideally we have the same purpose, but we contribute differently. We contribute equally, but differently. And so I would not want the women in my life doing these jobs. I would never, ever want my wife to have to go underneath a house in a crawl space and try to fix some pipes, like for hours at a time. Like look, that's just, the experience I've had in plumbing, right? But I mean, there are just hundreds more, even more dangerous jobs that have to be done that are basically just all done by men, right? And so I'm grateful that there are men out there that are willing to do that. I am grateful. And so this video is to just highlight the why we should be grateful and have gratitude for the men out there that are doing these extremely dangerous jobs that keep our infrastructure and society running smoothly, and so that we're comfortable, so that we have modern convenience. But and I would recommend it. Look, men, a lot of men, would rather do these types of jobs than sit at a desk, for sure. But that doesn't mean it doesn't take a massive toll on them. And I am grateful for the time that I spent in plumbing because I can fix. I'm handy now, and I mean my shower upstairs is clogged. And instead of calling the landlord, I might just get my little snake out and try to get it unclogged with what I have. But I'm able to fix things here and there when I need to, when it comes to that stuff, because I spent a couple years doing it. But it is rough. Plumbing is rough, but all these jobs, I just wanted to kind of highlight, these are jobs that we're not even thinking about. And it's just like, I mean, we're talking, guys, underwater welding. I mean, when you think of, big pillars in either an ocean or like a bridge going across the ocean, I mean, someone had to build that, right? Or a bridge going across like a bay, right? Where you have to have, like the bridge, you have to have pillars and things keeping that bridge up, but you have to weld underwater. I mean, you have and even just the technology like to invent this kind of stuff, and the amount of trial and error and just the amount of work involved is astounding, and I am extremely humbled and grateful. And so just thank your local tradesmen, okay? Thank the guys that do the jobs that no one wants to do. And so I'll probably title this Men for Total Equality ... Because it's just it kind of highlights just how dumb it is for us to be pushing this in our society, when really what we mean is what most people mean by we want gender equality. Well, they want it only for the things that are maybe more prestigious or comfortable. Okay, There's plenty of women that want to be CEOs and lawyers, and but they don't want to be plumbers. Okay, they're not asking for gender equality in plumbing. And I will say, out of the 3 years I spent in plumbing, and I saw a lot of plumbers come and go. We had one out of 50, 60 guys over the period of 3 years. There was one girl that got into that did plumbing, or that apprenticed and tried to learn the trade. I don't know if she's still doing it, but I mean, she toughed it out. When I left, she was still there. So, mad respect for her, for sure, for doing that, for giving it a shot, because it is extremely tough. And but it's going to be so rare that women would voluntarily do this stuff, and for good reason, guys. And so there's men and women are different. There's a reason for that, okay? And we shouldn't shy away from that. We should. No men that I know would want their women in their lives doing these types of I would never want my daughter doing these dangerous jobs. It doesn't mean that she can't have interest, or she can't choose to maybe explore some of those things if she wants. Totally fine. But men have to do those jobs, okay? If you want the buildings built, men have to do them, right? So we don't really have a choice. Like, as a society, the majority of men have to step in and build society, right? Women have the choice to choose whether they want to go into that. And so if women are if there are women that want or have interest in doing these types of jobs, totally fine. I mean, I would never say you can't do, you're not allowed to do them. If you want to, that's by your own free will and choice. And I agree with that. You can do it if you want, right? But there's a reason why almost no women do these jobs, okay? It's because no one wants to do them, but they still have to be done. And so by default, men have to do them, okay? So that's my rant for tonight. It's really, the whole purpose of this is not to be divisive. It's actually to just make us recognize how good we have it in our society, okay? We have hot showers at our convenience. We have running water, clean water at our disposal, at every sink, at every fixture. And so we need to recognize that took a lot of building, and a lot of what I listed earlier about why plumbing sucks. It took a lot of that to have the modern convenience that we all enjoy today, from a lot of men that put in a lot of their lives to bring us these comfortable societies that we live in. So just thank your tradesmen, your local tradesmen, and your local laborer. And let's have more gratitude, and